As spawning in the left side, on the left side here of Sylphid, we have the South Korean Protoss player. We have the Blue Protoss. Oh, we have the Blue Protoss representing among SC2 people. It is ReBellioN. We go, and spawning in the top side of Sylphid, we have the Brood War Terran player. We have the Red Terran. It is Kiwian, aka TOP. Here we go. We have a Terran, we have our Protoss, we have our setup here. We have purely Koreans remaining in the tournament. Purely our Korean representation, and we'll see how our players will approach this. Again, we've seen a lot of mech. We've seen a lot of mech here out of Kiwian, but he is one to go into 3-rack stim in this matchup as well. He's willing to. We'll see if he does. See if he does. Smaller collision size, more accurately. The corners of the assimilator were rounded, while the gas geyser collision was not rounded. So a very precise diagonal placement meant the assimilators allowed units to pass, while geysers did not. There you go. There you go. But that was the case in Brood War. Unfortunately, the way the models work here in SE2 aren't quite the same. So that's why in SE2, at least on Troy, at least again due to SE2's limitations, it just turns into just permanent rocks. At least from my understanding, which I'm totally okay with. I'm totally fine with it. But it is a slight difference. I mean, there have been other changes as well. Like if I recall correctly. Oh god, what's the name of the recent ASL map that was ported over? But I believe Xel'Naga towers were added, right? I believe Xel'Naga towers were added in the StarCraft Evolution version, as opposed to the Brood War version. Like, there's always like little changes like that. Bloody Ridge? Am I thinking of Bloody Ridge? No, not Bloody Ridge. The other one. I had a ladder on Evo. I believe there is a beta version of the ladder currently on the arcade. I believe it's still in beta. I don't think it's in full release version yet, but they have their own like matchmaking and their own MMR system. I haven't tried it myself yet. I know that others have been playing around with it. So if you wish, there is that beta ladder on the arcade, so you can ladder. So now we do have a Stargate opener out of ReBellioN. Does open Stargate. Meanwhile, we just see from Kiwian going for his own second factory into Vulture production. Again, no surprises here, but he's going into mech. So double factory, massive Vulture here, working towards spider mines, working towards eventual ion thrusters as well to gain map control. Building up. Likewise, ReBellioN behind this, going for his own Oracle. Again, mech is a little bit more viable here with the Brood War race. I say a little bit more just because mech has been making a resurgence in SC2 as well, with also battle mech, with mass cyclone, of course. We have seen a lot more from of that from the Korean Terrans in recent weeks. But here it's a very different kind of dynamic here with the Vulture instead of the cyclone. As Oracle does zip into the mineral line. There's limited anti-air, by the way. By that I mean there's no anti-air. SCV's going to be going down. Marines have to race on over from the bunker, but a late reaction from Kiwian, and SCVs are falling. They try to mass repair to buy some time, but SCVs are still going down nonetheless. 5 SCV kills and lost mine time, and we just kill every Marine. Yeah, every Marine is going to go down. 3 Marines fall. Is that just game? This is critical damage. Goliath production has begun, but that is 8 SCVs at the same time queuing across the map. We have a full wall. Yeah, we have a wall set up. Spider Mine does burrow. Stalker does start to step back. And Kiwian, he just can't do anything here. I mean, the Sentry is floating unit as well. You know, the Sentry is crazy. 14 SCVs. 15. Oh my god. 15 SCVs go down. The Oracle does escape. And that is a very rough start here for Kiwian. 17 SCVs. Again, unfortunately, he just had limited anti-air. Unfortunately, just later Goliaths. No scout earlier, so he was unaware of the tech of choice. He was unaware of the opener of his opponent. He wasn't ready for something like an Oracle. He was not ready. And this one Oracle has 20 kills, by the way. 17 SCVs and 3 Marines. This is the MVP Oracle and may have just won ReBellioN the game. Ay. He even getting more kills. 22. Does catch out the vultures. Leave him alone. He just wants to play some StarCraft. Oh no. And alas, with that, ReBellioN, he's in a very strong position. He is miles ahead economically. 49 probes to the 28 workers here of Kiwian. And unfortunately, you can't say what you would say in SC2. What would we say? We'd be like, oh, mules, Pappy. We can just mule. True. Even economy. No mules, though. So, again, one Terran is not quite like the other. Here, the damage is even more critical, even more brutal. Otherwise, an SC2 would be even on economy. True. You just shake it off, Pappy. Don't worry about it. And with that, now getting to ion thrusters. Kiwian, I mean, we have to do something drastic here. We have to do something desperate. Ninja base. Ninja base is on the way. If given time, if ReBellioN is too passive, then Kiwian can recover here with that ninja. With that hidden expansion. Likewise, Vulture setting up in the center. We're slowly working towards a greater mech army. From the side of ReBellioN, how we teching from Stargate opener into what? Into 1-1 upgrades into charge, I would imagine. Oh, no, sorry, into Blink. Blink first. Getting into Blink Stalkers. Here we go. SC2 Pro set up a 4-minute third and Terran won't be able to do much about it. Yeah, they wouldn't need to. They have mules. They'll be fine. So we'll see. We'll see how Kiwian can try to recover. Oh god! Oh, thank god. Keen moves. Does pull away. Does hit the mineral line. Catching out a couple of workers. Not bad. Last, the rest of the army is not quite in position here. ReBellioN over towards the left-hand side. Quite in position. 4 probe kills. A nice start. Here to the attempted comeback. Likewise, if we can catch this army out. Uh-oh. The trap is set. Oh my god, massive connections! Yeah, not bad. Catching out how many stalkers so far? Oh. Catching out 4. 4 stalkers, and again, good value. All these little things, they do slowly add up, but does it take too long? That's the problem. That's the question here. Does it take too long to add up? Because Kiwian needs more. He needs more of this. He needs to catch out more stalkers, catch out more units. As again, at least he's getting away with that ninja base. It's slowly paying for itself. ReBellioN ready for the blink. Spider-Mines ideally do deter that. We have Spider-Mines here on the right and some here on the left. So Kiwian, he is contained. I mean, he should be contained on 2 bases, but because of the ninja, like he has a bit of a better economy than ReBellioN would otherwise be aware of. Second Stargate. Hello. Second Stargate. Although he blinks in. He does go for the dive. He gets 1. He gets 2 tanks. Takes down 2 tanks, takes down the bunker as well. He will bleed out some stalkers in the process, but not the worst trade here for ReBellioN. Bearing in mind he does have the greater economy. Does blink away. That was another 7 stalkers or 2 tanks. A better trade for Kiwian, actually. Not bad. Does punish 7 stalkers. Ninja base is getting up and running. And again, he's hoping for more of this. He's hoping for more overextensions from ReBellioN. And then he can recover. But Fleet Beacon's on the way. Scan does reveal the Fleet Beacon. He's now aware of the attempted Sky Toss. This should be for Tempest production. ReBellioN taking up. In towards Tempest. No. But alas, Kiwian, he will not keep this base hidden here. SCVs are going to be going down. Ay. Again, if this had gone unscouted, then maybe he could recover economically, but oh, not like this. Not like this. Does evacuate. Thankfully, he will save the base. He does float over. He was able to gain some value at least out of the expansion. As Zell said, we're coming from behind. West kiting back. Does kite back, does kite away. And when it comes to the main armies here, I will say that Kiwian's army is quite competitive. Especially when it comes to any kind of main fight. If all the tanks are pre-siege, then I can see him claiming a fight here. But it's not about that. It's not about a soon-to-be fight. It's about the tech. It's about the Tempest. Like, right now, currently, there is no answer. There's no answer to the Tempest. Kiwian, if you remember, he did scan. He's aware. He saw the Stargate. He saw the Fleet Beacon. He knows what's coming. But right now, he's stuck making an anti-ground army with mainly Vulture tank. And this makes me believe that maybe he didn't click on the Fleet Beacon. He might think that that was the first Stargate, yeah.
Your forces are under attack.
He's not aware that there are two. So he might just assume that was the first Stargate and might not think more of that. He might not have clicked on the Fleet Beacon. Oh, that's a kill on the CC. CC goes down. And what shoots up here? I mean, now the Tempests are revealed. We have 3 Goliaths. 3 Goliaths so far. Goliath production has begun. Zell's taking on top of the tanks. Ooh, Brutal Blink. Yeah, tank boys, they do pop up, they do punish. Yeah, once again, rough positioning there from ReBellioN. Again, he has to respect that tank line. Has to respect it. And despite the disastrous start here out of Kiwian, he has since recovered. Again, the ninja base did help, it did play its part, it did play its role, but the fact that he's playing mech as well also is helping out. As he has a very efficient army. And we have seen ReBellioN take some rough fights. Does move out with a massive counterattack. Unscouted. ReBellioN moving in. Once again, tanks it will punish the Archons. Oh, 1 Archon goes down. He gets 1. He gets 2. Takes down 2 Archons. Vultures are revealed. ReBellioN, that lead that he once had. I mean, he still does have it tech-wise, but again, has been taking some really rough fights. There go Vultures. They bust into the mineral line. We have 2 Tempest to defend. There's the recall. Forced recall back home. Zella drop into the main. At this point, Kiwian is back in this. At this point, he has recovered. He's back in this game. Very impressive. Oh, let's go defensive matrix here on the Goliath. Stutter steps in. The tanks are exposed. And Zella's here we go. We're diving on the... Oh my god, once again he blinks in. Once again, the blinks get punished. Well, he does take down the first line of defense. Yeah, 3, 4, 5 tanks going down. Mass repair on that final tank. Takes down the CC. But ReBellioN, he throws away so much of his gateway army doing that. Again, I've not been fond of his blinks. He's been going full patience on us. He's been blinking in time and time again into tank lines. And here come the Goliaths. Yeah, Kiwian, he will overwhelm. He will punish the just over-aggressive nature here of ReBellioN. He will punish the blinks, punish the fights. With that, Stutter steps in, and who needs mules? True. You don't need them, Pappy. You do not need them. Does Stutter step in, takes down all the zealots. And again, just some really rough engagement there at ReBellioN. I'm not opposed to rushing into Tempest like this. I think that was the correct call to make. But unfortunately, he was just a little bit too cavalier with his supportive army. To the point where now he has no support. He has no support left. Likewise, does catch a reinforcing Tempest. And Kiwian, he has done it. He will snowball out of control. He breaks the natural. He breaks the third base as well. I miss patience. I miss him dearly, Papi. I miss my patience. Every now and then, though, every now and then, like patience, he takes over, you know. The inner patience just takes over the Protoss, whether it's hero, whether it's rebellion, whether it's classic. Every now and then, there's just a little bit of patience in them. We appreciate it. Kicks him out of the chair. Takes control of the wheel. It's beautiful. And with that, another expansion is going to go down. Again, at this point, ReBellioN, he cannot quite keep up with this kind of army. He does go for the base trade. Let's go. Does go for the base trade. What does he have for this? He has 3 Tempests, has a couple of Stalkers. It does take down the tanks. Not bad. And again, we are trading bases. Kiwian, he doesn't push into the natural. Oh, he's rotating over to do so. Meanwhile, ReBellioN has been banking up at those zealots. Oh my god, the spider mines are brutal. Spider mines are going off. Ideally, Kiwian does want to drag the army into the minefield. Ideally. Does find another expansion. Oh, speaking of minefield. Oof. Oh my god. Speaking of minefield, does run through, does run past, and every Stalker goes down. Ay. The minefields are brutal. Speaking of, oof. Yeah, once again connecting with the zealots. Once again does punish. Speaking of punish, Kiwian is getting surrounded. Yeah, he should not be here. Does get completely surrounded, completely swallowed up. Yeah, Kiwian does overextend. He got a little bit too excited. Remember, he saw the movement of the army with his spider mines, but he's still committed anyway. So we still have a game here. So, as we said, Kiwian is on 3 bases. He's on a 3-base economy. He's floating over his main to take as a 4th. So getting him to a 4-base setup. Meanwhile, ReBellioN on 3 bases himself. He has 2 Tempests remaining. 2 Tempests. He's built up his Zealot count. Still going to come down to the fight. Kiwian's still building back up. Going for Zealot Runwise. Oh, the natural is exposed. And long distance mining as well. Vultures, they can have their way with these probes, and they will. And Mineral Line's going to be falling. ReBellioN racing on over. He's out of position. As that's going to be 17 probes. Ay. Yeah, 17 workers going down. Recall is on cooldown. He cannot recall. More mines. And Kiwian, he's running away with this game. He's running away with it. Running away. ReBellioN, he got too excited. He got too excited. Too aggressive. Multiple times. With that now moving out. Another mineral line is exposed. It's all or nothing for ReBellioN. He's looking for bases. Doesn't find any. Pushing into another minefield. Oh my god. He's also trying to bait out the mines. They try to bait them out. Oof. Meanwhile, we have Mass Goliath to defend. Let's go. The Mass Goliath. It's spirits all over again. As Star steps in, GG gets called, and Kiwian, he will pull off an insane comeback and take game number 1. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Again, Kiwian, he did persevere, was able to get away with the ninja base for a time, and it did end up paying for itself in the end, just barely. Likewise, we saw ReBellioN take some really rough fights multiple times, blinking forward into siege lines, bleeding out 7 Stalkers at a time and time again. Those were expensive losses, and yes, he was taking up towards Skytoss, towards Tempest, which I think was the correct thing to do, but the ground army was lacking as he just kept trading out and bleeding off Stalker after Stalker. Archons as well. Just really rough fights, really rough engagements. Again, it did feel like ReBellioN was a little bit too impatient and a little bit too patient. It does make sense. GG. GG, well played. With that, we are getting into game number 2. Game 2 is going to be taking place on Vermeer. Let's go. So jumping into game 2, and we'll see if Kiwian can extend his lead. We'll see if ReBellioN can bounce back. Again, I do believe that ReBellioN is quite comparable in skill to Kiwian, so personally I'm hoping for a back and forth, but we'll see. The pressure is on. The pressure is on. As we are getting into our next map. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Vermeer, we do have the South Korean Protoss player. We have the Blue Protoss representing among SC2 people down in the series, but it's the best of 5. Plenty more games ahead of us, plenty more games to come. We'll see if we can bring it back. It is ReBellioN. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have the Brood War Terran player, the Red Terran, representing himself. Taking a lead in the series, taking that 1-0 lead. Can he extend it even further? It is Kiwian, aka TOP, as we have spawned into cross spawn locations here. Again, welcome to Vermeer, a 4-player spawn map. You can spawn in at any corner of the map, and we have now diagonal spawns. Let's go. Let us go. Speaking of ReBellioN, he will scout across the map immediately. Oh. Did you see that? Going for a proxy. Okay, cheeky build here out of ReBellioN. He is not going to scout a base. Now, because of this proxy location, if Kiwian was bottom left or top left, this is like equivalent, like kind of like a distance from this proxy to either expansion. Okay, let's go. Let's go, Bobby, let's go. Again, I'm loving this setup here from ReBellioN. He still doesn't know where his opponent is, but, you know, 50-50. Let's go. It works anyway. Does work regardless. You see Kiwian scouting bottom left. Now, bearing in mind as well, at the beginning of the game, it is a 4-player spawn map, but the way that StarCraft Evolution works, there is a new mechanic, a new kind of feature here. It does cross out one possible spawn location. So I believe for our 2 players here, at least for ReBellioN, it was revealed his opponent was either spawning in top left or bottom left, not top right. So again, this proxy is calculated. He scouts, he does scout, he does confirm the location of Kiwian. Let's go. Does confirm. And it's proxy Stargate? Are we going proxy Void Ray? Or is this just Oracle? Because this could just be proxy Oracle to get economic damage, then you just expand. Yeah, okay. No Void Ray. So proxy Oracle to deal economic damage. I mean, based on what happened in game 1, this makes sense. Remember, how many kills did that one Oracle get? Was it like 22? He got 17 SCV kills and then 3 Marines, so 20 in total, then he came back for more. So he got 20 kills with the first Oracle in game 1. How many do we get in game 2? Oh, as we're rushing into the armory. That does mean that we will have access to faster Goliaths than previously. Meanwhile, Kiwian, he does scout, does confirm the setup. Vulture is spotted. Oracle's on the way. Let's go. As he does zoom into the natural. SCVs are going to be going down. Immediately Goliaths are on the way. So faster Goliaths production this time from Kiwian. Again, really smart to go for the earlier armory this time. Again, the armory is a prerequisite for Goliaths. But despite that, SCVs are still going to be going down. But they're almost done. They're almost out. Yeah, this time they're almost out. And the Oracle's already out of energy. Only 4 kills. And the proxy gets found. The proxy is scouted, and Kiwian will hold. So, as opposed to the previous game, and this is where I have to be concerned. Look, if ReBellioN can kill, if he kills 17 SCVs and still falls behind, then we're in trouble. Because that's what happened in game 1. Here we only get 4 SCVs, and that much more concern for ReBellioN. Now, you could argue that because ReBellioN had a massive lead, maybe that's why he was so cavalier. Maybe that's why he was so careless with his army, and he was taking some really rough fights and really rough trades. Maybe he wasn't respecting Kiwian enough because he was ahead. Now that we're in a more even state, or even behind game state, now we might just be seeing him tighten up his play, of course, be more careful, be more reserved with his play, with his army movement, and lock in. We'll see. For now, though, I'm concerned for ReBellioN, 100%. I mean, I'm very concerned for ReBellioN. Aye. As here we go, we do have iron thrusters on the way. We have mines as well. Third TC from Kiwian, being very greedy here. Much more economic focused as opposed to previously. So much faster third TC. Double Oracle into the main, but there are Goliaths waiting. And Goliaths will zone. And this also shows the difference between a proxy oracle and a regular oracle opener. Remember, one of the reasons why in game 1 so many SCVs went down is because the oracle was made at home, there was the NG overcharge. Here with the proxy oracle, no NG overcharge, so much more limited NG here for ReBellioN. Doesn't get anywhere near as much damage. With that, players do move out. The third base is spotted. And the Kiwian, he's going for it. Last going to be zoned away. This time there's the Observer. We'll clean up the mines, and ReBellioN will hold. But again, cross spawns, we're going to be here for a while here. We're settling in. We have the diagonal spawns. Kiwian, he will eventually expand, as he will be delayed. Will eventually expand. Do have more factories building up. Embracing that mech style once again. And this is where there's going to be a lot of pressure on ReBellioN, because the reality is that Kiwian is building up a very efficient mech army, as we saw previously. Like the supplies will lie here, with Kiwian's army being that much more efficient, that much more effective as he builds it up. It's going to be up to ReBellioN to try to slow this down ahead of time. Now, I'm not too fond of the idea of going into Mass Blink Stalker, as we saw, like, typically against this form of mech, like, chargels are ideal. Typically, they're ideal, but I mean, that's where the Spider Mines do complicate things. But there we go, charges on the way. We have 2 siege tanks ready for this. ReBellioN pokes forward, he does see the army. Oracles towards the natural. Hermina calls a distraction. Tard is in position. Going for the stasis. Oh, not quite. Yeah, there we go. Does go for the stasis. Kiwi does notice. He pulls away. Stalker's moving in. They go for the link. Oh, the tank does punish. And he's locked in. He's going to be trapped here. He has to get the hell out of here. He can't blink over the wall, though. He has to try. Has to blink over the river. As he tries, oh god, he tries to blink past, and so many stalkers go down. That was not worth it. We spoke about patience. Get out of ReBellioN. get out of him. That was not worth it. And just like that, how many stalkers just went down? 9 stalkers. That is brutal. And here comes the counterattack. Kiwian, he knows that ReBellioN, he's exposed, he's vulnerable. Now is the time. Stasis does go up, and ReBellioN doesn't turn around. He commits. He warps in. We could end up in a weird base trade. We could base trade here and now. As at home, there's 1 sentry. There's 1 sentry and 1 immortal to defend. Now the stalkers, they catch reinforcements. They can also recall at a moment's notice. They can recall back home. They're the defensive warp-ins. Tanks, they're sieging up, getting in position. Spider mines are set. Oh. Stalkers catching more tanks, catching more reinforcements, at least trying to. And this third base is forfeit. It's completely cut off. There's that recall. The tanks, they're within range. The tanks, they are within range. There's that recall. couple of points are here to repair, and the tank boys are brutal. Yeah, the Stalkers, they're completely shut down. Ay, ay, ay. Yeah, the Stalkers, they do nothing. They completely go down. There's one Stalker left. And Kiwian, he's done it. He's broken through. Again, respect the tanks. They're crazy. And with that, to the base will fall the mineral line as well. Unfortunately, no charge shots already here to try to break this position. The Oracle doing the counter. It's going to be 19 pro kills. GG gets called. And Kiwian takes game number 2, takes a 2-0 lead in the semifinals. GG. GG well played. You can see just how brutal those tanks are. If there's multiple times now, we saw Stalkers try to engage into tank lines, and it was never worth it. It's in game 1, here in game 2 as well. Never is worth it to try to push in within range of those tanks. They just punish the Stalkers so hard, and ReBellioN is finding out the hard way. It's finding out the hard way. This is not the answer. This is not the way. Ay, ay, ay. Not like this, papi. Not like this. And likewise, I appreciated the idea. I like the idea of going into Proxy Stargate just because the Oracle did so much damage in game 1. But we saw it wasn't just that there was no energy overcharge, and it wasn't just that the Oracle had less energy to kill workers. But on top of that, we saw that this time Kiwian, he adapted. He adapted after game 1. This time he got a much faster armory, so he had access to Goliaths a lot faster as well. So a faster Goliath response, a faster Goliath production, better and stronger defense. GG. GG well played with that. With that, Kiwian does take a 2-0 lead, and now, oh, let's go. We have been avoiding the island maps the entire broadcast, but we're here, we're back, we're jumping into game 3. It's going to be, unfortunately, it's not on Paradox, unfortunately, but it's okay. We're going to be loading into Near Isles of Siren. Let's go. Let us go. As we are getting into our next game. Into game number 3 of the series. Soon, TM. We'll get the hold on. There we go. As we are getting into our next game, into potentially the final game of the series, and spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Neo Isles of Siren, we have the South Korean Terran player. We have the Red Terran, player himself, leading the series 2-0. It is a Kiwian, the StarCraft 2 Terran, and spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have the Brood War Protoss player, the Blue Protoss, representing among SC2 people. It is ReBellioN. And for those of you in the chat that maybe haven't watched this game mode before, I spoke earlier about how in StarCraft Evolution, we do, or I say we, the creators and organizers have ported over Brood War maps, and we have already experienced some unique maps, right, with these 4-player spawn locations, 3-player spawn locations, with destructible assimilators, with the high ground, of course, with these little islands as well, with these island bases. But welcome to a straight up proper island map. There are many island maps now in the StarCraft Evolution map pool, like Paradox, like New Isles of Siren, like, oh, there's another one, Arkanoid, that's it, Arkanoid as well, which is like a pseudo island map. So what do we have here? We have 4 islands, 4 base locations here. You can spawn in top right, top left, bottom right, a 4-player spawn map, and you have your own island. You have your main base, you have your natural, you have your 3rd, and you have your 4th base, all to yourself. And you can see here that we are cut off by these small rivers. These rivers, they actually cut the map into quadrants to make sure that players cannot actually traverse without something like drop play, warp prisms, nidus worms, recalls as well to go from island to island. There's a 5th island here in the center, so we have a 5th island with gases, with minerals, of course, but everyone has their own island initially. Now, this map was more extreme. Fun fact, in the past, by the past I mean a couple of months ago, these used to be high yield gas geysers, which was crazy, by the way. So you could take high yield gases and you could rush into mass muta or mass skytals a little bit more efficiently, a little bit more effectively, but that has been taken away. Now they're regular gases, so it was getting a little bit crazy, a little bit out of hand. It's getting a little bit out of control. So now we have regular gas geyers instead, as we have a Stargate opener out of ReBellioN. Now, there are some unique builds here. We could go into Skytoss, true, and I expect Skytoss out of ReBellioN. If we had SE2 Protoss, then there are ground-based all-ins where you can go for mass gateways, and you can go for a warp prism and just warp in across the map, right? You just warp in and you just go for an all-in. Go for like a 3-base all-in or a 2-base all-in. That was viable, but because of how Brood War works, there's no warp-in mechanic. So I feel like Skytoss is the only real way to play an island map as Brood War Protoss. And there it is, Fleet Beacon is on the way. So I would say that Brood War Protoss is a little bit more limited in how they can approach island maps. Meanwhile, SE2 Terran, we have seen Terran players go mass Sky Terran and go into like quadruple Starport production into mass Viking, which is crazy. Or you can just go for drop play. You can go for like a 2-on-1 early stim into just drop play across the map. So like likewise, SE2 Terran, they have some options. You know, you can go into Bio and drop play. You can go into Sky Terran. You can go into Mech with Sky Terran as well. Meanwhile, do you see what I see? Reactored Viking? That's got to be Reactored Viking. Let's go. Second Stargate, mass carrier on the way. And yep, there we go. Reactored Viking, actually Medevac Viking out of Kiwian. Does claim his expansion, so we do see that the scout is scouting, looking for Kiwian. And the scout will find the CC. Now he knows. Ooh, will delay as well. Will delay. Takes down the building SCV. Rotates over. Again, Cyclone not quite in position. Getting another worker. Again, I believe does 3 shots. The scout, I mean. 3 shots SCVs. 1, 2. Oh. Doesn't quite get the third. But carriers are amassing. Bearing in mind that carriers only have enough room for 4 interceptors here as Brood War, so they do need the upgrade to increase or double the capacity of interceptors. So we're building up carriers as we speak. Meanwhile, a reactor to Viking into a second starport. And again, I mentioned before that we have seen Terran players go up to a quadruple starport in a mass Viking. Because hey, Vikings, they can land. They can land as well. They can also wreak havoc on the ground, not just the air. As I do have a Kiwian dropping into the main. Does drop in. Does drop into the main base, does hit the mineral line. Alas, the ReBellioN out of position, but does have those carriers. And it will force a lift. We'll lose 2 probes. But we'll kill the army. At least Kiwian is now aware. I mean, as we mentioned before, like, Brood War Protoss are quite limited, so Skytoss is usually the only way that they can play this out. Meanwhile, we have Mass Viking. We have the Mass Viking. And from here, we can go into Viking Liberator, or just pure Viking even, with Raven support. Ravens, of course, have their place as well, with the Sky Terran army. Carriers, they're moving out. They do look to fan out. So far, again, Kiwian, he's holding his own. Does hold his own. There's the 3rd starport. We're getting up there. Getting up to triple starports, likewise armory as well for the upgrades. And it's going to be a bit of a slower start. It's like both players are building up, so both players back up. It is going to be a little bit easier for Kiwian to expand, because of course he can just build the CC and then just float it. He can just float over to another base, to another island, I should say. It is going to be a little bit more, yeah, a little bit more treacherous here for ReBellioN. He has to make the shuttle. Robo into shuttle, into a drop to expand. We are getting there. Meanwhile, the sensor tower has been thrown down. We could see Kiwian throw down a wall of turrets, like a ring of turrets if need be. I feel like against Brood War Protoss it's a little bit less important though. Like they can deter shuttle play or prism play. I guess they can be an anchor point against Skytoss. Meanwhile, yep, there we go. 4th starport. There it is. Quadruple starport production. There it is, going into disable interference matrix. Raven production has begun. We have how many Vikings? We have 16 Vikings so far. And we're just massing up. It's like no rush 15. Or no rush 10. No rush 10. Just mass up as much as we can, and then we send it. Now, when it comes to Sky Toss, and when it comes to Sky Toss Brood War play as well, this is where I would say that Arbiters would be ideal. I mean, I say Arbiters, actually we're going into Corsair. Corsair would be a good supportive unit as well, true. Corsairs, they have splash damage, they do AoE anti-air damage, and they do really, really well against units at clump. So the Vikings, if they bunch up like this, yo, it takes a couple of volleys from a Corsair, and these Vikings will just get annihilated. You don't need too many. Like, I would say like 5. Like 5 Corsairs, and you're good to go. You don't need that many Corsairs to shut this down. This is where ghost support can be impactful as well with EMPs. But avert your eyes, I will say. If we do get up to that critical mass of Corsair, like Corsairs, they will have their way with this. Like we've seen many a Terran player. I think we casted. I think it was even I think Bjorn versus Hero, where Bjorn, he was maxed out on Viking, and again it was like 5 Corsairs completely shut Bjorn down. He was like question mark. It's like what? So, yeah. The power of the Corsair. How many do we have? 4, soon to be 7. At a certain point, I would say that maybe too many. Like you don't want too many Corsairs just because they're limited what they can do, right? They can shut down the air army, true, but you need something to do with the ground as well. For now, though, I wouldn't be opposed to like carrier, Corsair, Arbiter, right? Like Arbiters, they can lock down, they can recall, they can cloak. Like they have their own utility as well. And here we go. Kiwian does move in. He's committing. How many Corsairs do we have? So far 7. It does stable. Corsairs, they move in. They do move forward. Again, you don't want to stack. Does snipe 1. 1 Corsair goes down to 6. Soon to be up to 10 though. 1 carrier falls. You don't want to stack. Corsairs are on the chase. Oh, and the Vikings, you can see they do take a lot of damage there. A lot of them get weakened. And he backs off. Tiles back off. Now again, Vikings, they outrange Corsair. So you can see there was a bit of a dance going on where you have to kite back with the Vikings. You can like snipe 1 or 2 Corsairs and then pull away. So good kiting there from Kiwian. In the end, it was 5 Corsairs for nothing. But you can see how low the army is. Like they took their hits from the Corsairs. So we have to repair. They move in, we have to repair, top up the Vikings. You know, more Corsairs are amassing. ReBellioN takes a ninja base. Takes bottom left, let's go. Kiwian claiming the Central Island. Okay. And throwing down a ring of turrets. And ideally, you do want to fight with your turrets. Likewise, ideally, ReBellioN wants to fight with his cannons. For now, he's up to 13 Corsairs, now switching into Temple Archives. Yo, we're going towards Storm. I mean, whether it's Storm or Archons, they both have their place. Like, they're both a good supportive units for the Skytoss army. The only problem with Archons and with High Templar, of course, is just how difficult it is to traverse between islands, right? So we need the shuttle. The shuttle's going to be very crucial here to the Storms, to the High Templar. Shuttle speed has not been researched. There is no bay. Yeah, so no bay, no shuttle speed. Temple Archives now done. Waiting for Storm. Meanwhile, Kiwian is maxed. He's getting into +3 ship weapons, massing on more starports to make sure he can remax after a fight. Meanwhile, here comes the Arbiter Tribunal. We are working towards Arbiters. No Storm. Interesting. No Storm. Now, Arbiters, when it comes to the spells that they have available to them, they of course can recall. I believe the recall range is a little bit smaller, but they can recall. They also provide Cloak. They provide the AoE Cloak, similar to the Mothership, but they also have Stasis Fields. That's the most important part. Stasis Fields can completely shut down an army like this. Speaking of Vikings, they land. They clean up the base. Expansion goes down. Expansion should be going down. Oh. And ReBellioN has to be careful. Throws down the disruption webs. This is like Lightning Cloud, essentially. A little bit different, but close enough. So does web up those turrets. The center base is going to go down. And you can see Kiwian just ignore the army. He's going for the bases. He's going for the land. Going for the auto turrets at least. There we go. Does mass land. ReBellioN, does he respond to this? He does. It turns back around. Meanwhile, Mineral Line does fall. Kiwian pulls away. ReBellioN coming in. So far, 20 Corsairs. Jesus. That's a lot of Corsair. They haven't seen the strength of the Corsair yet, and we might not, period. Depending on how the fights occur. As Kiwian, he does skirt around the edge. He's hunting for bases. Kiwian claiming another expansion. ReBellioN, I mean, he hasn't really saturated the base, unfortunately, so this hasn't really paid for itself. And I'm moving in. 13 carriers. Does mass disruption web. Takes down the turrets. Does mow through. Vikings out of position, so this base is going to go down, and Kiwian, he cannot support. And cannot support here, as more and more CCs are falling, and he's going for the base trade. Yeah, he just ignores it. Going for the base trade instead. There is an Arbiter at home, somewhat. So we can try to recall. Likewise, there's a land that takes down another base. Yo, do we go for the production? Uh-oh. That's a kill shot. Yeah, he's going for the production. Going for the main. Kiwian, likewise, going for the production as well. Just full base trade. Just full base trade. Oof. As Vikings do full. Again, these starports, they're going to be completely cleaned up. Likewise, Stargates as well. Oh, there's a recall. It does recall back home. Does recall back, and the Vikings are landed. Oh no, the Vikings! Yeah, they're not ready for this. They're not ready. Corsairs. Oh my god, they get into the heart of the army. Yeah, the heart of the army, the Vikings, they just melt. The Vikings go down, and Kiwian, he plummets in supply. Ay, ay, ay. Not like this. Destruction web here on the auto turrets. And there's what, 4 Vikings left. There's no there's a handful of starports remaining. ReBellioN, he dominates the fight. He's hunting down the Ravens. He wants them. He wants the Ravens. Oh, he doesn't quite find them though. Barely not. Still hunting. I mean, there's still a lot of bases and the starports are being rebuilt. So, but Kiwian, he has no bank. Kiwian, he's muling up as hard as he can, but he has no bank to work with. Now, with that ReBellioN, he's done it. He has done it. He has overwhelmed. Meanwhile, they'll go with the cannon rush. Cannons, they're holding their own for a time. Likewise, just trying to make as many Vikings as possible. But again, ReBellion's done it. At this point, he has done it. He dominates the fight. Again, I love the visual of the recall as well, right? Like I love that they reuse the vortex visual. Like they use the the vortex to recall elsewhere. I appreciate it. It looks pretty sick. As recall basically just makes like a black hole, I guess, to like suck everything in, or a wormhole, more accurately, I suppose. As with that, the main is forfeits. Here we go. Does move in. Does move in. We see Kiwian trying to counterattack. And he will actually, yeah, ReBellioN, he does respond. He does respond to this. Again, he wants the army, he can take the fight. There we go, mass disruption web. Vikings, they just get annihilated. They cannot fight head on. And with that, that's going to be everything cleaned up. With that, we have a series. It's not going to be a 3-0. Not here, not in the semis. Kiwian, he's coping a little bit. He scans. He's got some SCVs. I mean, technically, ReBellioN doesn't have a back, but GG gets caught. And ReBellioN, he will put a point on the board. He fights back and takes the win on the island map. GG. GG, well played. ReBellioN, he does put a point on the board here. Again, very impressive display when it comes to that late game army. Kiwian had a really hard time engaging. His choice was, of course, to go for the base trades, was to counterattack, but unfortunately, he was not. I don't think he was really expecting the recall. I don't think he was expecting the Protoss army to race back home that quickly. The recall did catch him off guard, and he lost everything in the main. And with that, GG. With that, GG, well played. With that, ReBellioN does fight back. Here we go. We go. As we're getting into game 4. Game 4 going to be on Purity and Industry. And we'll see. We'll see. I mean, Kiwian, he still is on match point. He still needs one more game to claim the series. Meanwhile, ReBellioN has to fight back here and now to force the ace match. Let's go. Here we go. As we're getting into our next game. Oh. We're getting there. there we go. As spawning in the top side here of Purity Industry, we have the South Korean Protoss player. We have the blue Protoss representing among SC2 people. It is ReBellioN. And he's fighting back and spawning in the bottom right hand corner. We have the Brood War Terran player. We have the red Terran representing himself, but still leading the series 2-1. Still one game away from claiming the series. It is a Kiwian, aka TOP. Here we go. As we do settle in to not quite the island map that we were used to here. There is an island, true. There's an island here in the corner of the map, but outside of that, it is a shorter rush. Oh, I say shorter rush distance. I believe it's a bit of a longer rush distance by ground. But again, we are going to be close by air at least. Close spawn locations by air. That's why the slow zones come into play to slow down any kind of drop play, any kind of move out. We'll see how our players will approach this. I think we all know one thing though. I think Kiwian is going to play mech. He's been playing a lot of mech this series and has been embracing and succeeding and excelling with mech. The question really becomes, ReBellioN does have a better answer. He's been playing a lot of Blink play, a lot of Blink Stalkers or Stargate openers into Blink, and has been having some mixed success. The Oracles have been popping up, but the Blink Stalkers, the control, the decision making of engaging into the army has been lackluster and has been hurting ReBellioN more than anything. So we'll have to change his approach. Here we go. Oh, we're going through down the Brood War memory lane. Let's go, let's go. Unfortunately, I mean, Brood War was relatively popular here in the sense that, like, I played it, I had some friends that were playing it, I had some cousins that were playing it, but we never really had the luxury of being able to set up multiple PCs in one place. Like, we never, especially because, for us, like, back in the early 2000s, if there was a PC in the home, it wasn't like a personal PC, it's like the family PC, right? Like, that's how we would have it, where, like, you know, your parents would use it, you'd maybe be able to use it to play some games every now and then, but it was like, you know, in like the living room, right? We wouldn't be able to like take the PC to like another place for like a LAN party sort of thing. So I never quite experienced that, unfortunately. When I went to Peru, I mean, there like PC bangs are a lot more popular, and there I was able to play like via LAN with a bunch of cousins, with your family. That was fun. Only once. Like, never here in Australia. Like, especially back in the day, yo, PCs, like, to try to take a PC to another person's house sounds crazy, because it wasn't just the tower that was bulky, mate. The monitors, you could hurt someone. Like, the monitors themselves they were beefy boys. Like, trying to take one of those old monitors to another to anywhere, that sounds insane. Oh my god. It's like a 20-kilogram monitor, mate. Jesus. So I never experienced that kind of LAN party setup. I think like most of the West, like you'd play games like with like your Nintendo 64, as in like everyone would like bring their controller over, and that's how you'd have that party set up. Less so PC LAN party. Like, there's a higher barrier to entry for that sort of thing. Huge monitor for so little screen. Yeah. Yo, oh my god, meanwhile, we have a game ahead of us. ReBellioN rushing into the island. Okay. ReBellioN. We had our openers, Robo Opener. So Robo Opener had a ReBellioN rushing into a prison to get across the map to land on the island. Meanwhile, the Rax barely does miss it. Cheeky move out of ReBellioN with a ninja base, with a ninja island base. Now again, so with the Robo Opener did open up a prison to get across the map to drop in. Likewise, the mortal production has begun. Meanwhile, we do have our mech set up here from Kiwian, and blindly going into his own Goliaths. Does scout the prism, so now he knows. Now he's aware that it was a robo-based opener, which means that the idea of rushing into the island might be in the back of Kiwian's mind. Oh. As F to get into the middle line, 4 SCV is going to be going down. A good start. Blink is on the way. Again, Kiwian does not know what ReBellion's been up to. And because he's playing SC2 Protoss, that means he can recall. Unlike with Brood War, where it's difficult to actually saturate this base, mate, you can just recall over. Ooh, the Rax is being forced over. Does he scout? Does he go? Does he keep going? Up! Oh, he's so close. He's so close. Look out the window, the people that are in there. Do you see a giant pyramid on the horizon? What do you see, Pappy? What do you see? He sees nothing. Oh, no. So, Kiwian, he will not find the ninja base. Will not find it. Behind this, building up his mech army, of course. And ReBellioN will have that economic advantage. We'll have that lead. From here. Oh, barely moving out. Does move out. Again, the goal here should just be to contain. It shouldn't be to like break into the siege line and break into this tank line. It should just be to contain the Terran player, get a 4th expansion now, take advantage of the greater economy, and just out macro from here. And try to outscale and try to overwhelm the Terran. And we'll see if we can pull this off. As so far, Kiwian, he's still stuck on 2 bases, heavily oversaturated here at the natural, so despite having a higher worker count, not really mining efficiently whatsoever. 3rd CC is done, and he is looking to expand. We'll see if he can. See if he can. Landing his 3rd. Oh. Likewise, Prism into the main is going to be able to unload. Does barely unload, but doesn't get much more done. Charge is not complete. The slowless don't really get much damage in the main, but actually the Rax floated back. How much HP does a Rax have? He made it back home through the slow zone as well. Wait, did he scout the pylon? No, he didn't scout. Still not aware. Likewise, 3rd is now on the way. Kiwian, he breaks out, he expands. Once again, trying to bait the army into tank range. Try to bait him in. We graduated to from having a family PC to having my own with IMAX. Yo, IMAX. I never quite had one, unfortunately, but our schools had them. But yes, they were a lot more portable, as you're mentioning. It was like a monitor and like tower in one sort of thing, right? A lot more portable, I suppose. Jesus, I was floating over all the Raxes. Yeah, they did have the handle, true. I didn't realize, but yeah, that there was that handle, and I guess it was just so you can lug it around, I suppose. But they did have that handle like behind the monitor. It's crazy. Oh, the nostalgia. As we do see Kiwian, he does scout the fresh mining base. I mean, it was meant to be a fresh mining base. Does scan. Again, he's trying to figure out, like, okay, you're on 3 bases. Now he's not, he's on 4. He's on 4 expansions. ReBellioN on 81 probes. He will soon max out. And what can he do with that maxed army? This is where the problem is that ReBellioN, he has an economic lead. That's good. That's good. That's solid, right? He will be the first to max out, but does he make use of the army? If he doesn't, if he fails to, then Kiwian will catch up. It's all about what is ReBellioN going to do with this lead. And so far, he does have charge lots. He has mass immortal. I mean, this is a more robust army. True. He can try to break a siege line, and he's going for it. They're not going to be forced back. More Zelts are warping in. ReBellioN is maxed. Uh-oh. Ooh, brutal connections. Yeah, speaking of, Zelts are falling. They rotate over to the right-hand side. Tanks out of position. And that base is going to be denied. Yeah, there's no taking the CC. Is going to be cancelled. At the same time, Vultures, they bust into the mineral line. 8 probes going down, not bad. Does force the defensive warp in. Just buying more time. Ooh, ReBellioN does find some tanks, though. Yeah, 1, 2 tanks going down. Nice pickoffs. Kiwian not quite in position. Kiwian, he's getting secure. Getting another CC. ReBellioN, we're going to keep trading. We're going to keep going in. Moving into a minefield. And he does break through. Getting on top of the tanks. He gets 1. Oh, nice defense matrix. But the tank still goes down regardless. And yeah, ReBellioN has done it. He is breaking through. That's still a lot of tanks behind this. Oh god, it's not pretty. But the Immortals are immortal. That's what matters. Stalkers, they all go down, but the Immortals, they still bust through. And they barely bust through, and with that ReBellioN, he will take it. He will clean up the army, pushing in towards the natural as well. And pushing towards the production, towards the heart of the Terran. Kiwian's like, the hell's going on? Like, where did all this come from? The island path. The island. Goes for a massive warping as well. And Kiwian just cannot keep up. Not like this. Boys are being pulled. The Stalkers, they just blink in. Yeah, and top, Kiwian, he's overwhelmed. He's overrun. GG gets called, and we are going all the way to the ace match. Whew. GG. We're going all the way to the ace match here. Again, ReBellioN bringing us back from the brink. It was a very, very, very rough series for him initially after game 1 and game 2. But here, game 3 and game 4, some more cheeky builds, kind of. I mean, game 3, island map going into mass sky toss. But game 4, rushing into the island completely unscouted, completely just unimpeded. And with that, he was able to just overwhelm Kiwian with a greater economy, with a larger army. GG, well played. Kiwian just could not keep up with that boosted economy, and that means that leads us all the way into the ace match. Let's go. The final game is going to be on Holy World. Here we go. Here we go. We are getting it. As we have found ourselves in the ace match, here we go. We found ourselves in game 5, and spawning in the top right hand corner here of Holy World, we have the South Korean Protoss player, the Blue Protoss, representing among SC2 people, the SC2 Protoss. It is ReBellioN. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the South Korean Terran player, the Brood War Terran, the Red Terran. It is Kiwian. Oh, we're proxy. Let's go. As ReBellioN, once again, he sets up a proxy here in between possible spawn locations. As a reminder, this is a 4-player spawn map. Top right, top left, bottom left, and bottom right as well. So we do take a risk, we do take a gamble. And once again, I would imagine this is going to be a proxy Stargate. Here we go. Brutal SC2 race is better. I don't want to have stats. Once again, it's one of those things where the game is being balanced actively to make sure that there is no big disparity like that. I would say the consensus was for a while that SC2 races were a little bit stronger in certain aspects. But, you know, there have been patches to alleviate that. There was a big patch, I want to say a month ago, which did buff Brood War Zerg. Like, Brood War Zerg was considered to be straight up worse than SC2 Zerg. So Brood War Zerg has... specifically, its core units, the Hydra and the Zergling, was buffed. So that was a change that was made, for example. And again, that was like a month ago. I know changes were made for Skytoss for Brood War Protoss just because the Scout was very lackluster and the transition into Skytoss was very difficult for Brood War Protoss players. So I know the Scout was adjusted. I know there have been changes to the Carrier as well. Changes to the BC. I know the BC was also kind of like a bit of an awkward unit for Brood War Terran. And the BC has been changed a lot. Like, a lot has been done to the BC in regards to its HP, its armor value, its health value, its damage output as well. But yeah, I don't think I think the like people that are asking stuff like that, I think they kind of miss the point that this is like a game that's actively being worked on to make sure that there is no like clear favorites, that, you know, they want to make sure it's balanced, but also within the spirit of each race, within the spirit of Terran, Brood War, and Zerg, and make sure that both options are viable in regards to Brood War and SC2. Meanwhile, 3x Stim. 3x Stim here out of Kiwian. Meanwhile, I assumed it was going to be Proxy Stargate. Proxy Robo 1 base all in. Let's go. So 1 base all in here out of ReBellioN. Meanwhile, a 3x Stim setup here, which means Mass Marine early on. Bunker is on the way. Kiwian is still not fully aware what's going on, but he does confirm no base. Yeah, he knows. Yeah, he sees no expansion, no nexus. He's getting ready for a defense. So he's getting ready to receive. Oh. As Marines, they start to step in. They do catch out a Stalker, not bad. One Stalker goes down. That's a lot of Marines falling, though. Yeah, the kiting here was brutal. So many Marines did go down, but the bunker is now done. Bunker is complete. The academy should be complete as well. Alas, no stim yet. Throwing down more axes, more Marines. It's going to be massive vanilla Marine here to defend. There's that one medic. And behind this, ReBellioN, he expands. A late expansion, but ReBellioN looks like he has confirmed, or he has realized that he cannot break his opponent. That most likely he cannot break Kiwian. So we're getting into a longer game. Here we go, so we have the Bay on the way here from our Protoss player. So proxy Robo into the Bay. We can go into Disruptor drops from here or just straight up Colossus. But a bit of a more awkward and quirky setup here from ReBellioN, rushing into Colossus in such a way. But he is up against Bio, right? For the first time in a long time, this is not mech. This is not a mech setup. So Colossus, they can have their place here. They can excel. As he dropped us threaten the main. Does threaten. The Bay is almost done. Once again, just threatening, just containing his opponents. Meanwhile, we have the proxy Colossus production well underway. Let's go. Making use of that proxy. Here comes the Colossus. Is on the way. Brutal came in 2000. I think Brutal came out in 1990. Was it 98 or 96? It was one of the two, right? But here we go. ReBellioN does push in. Ooh. Will threaten the bunker. So far, the bunkers, they hold their own. Marines, they send one forward. He takes out the initial gateway army, and he wants a Colossus. He wants it. Oh my god. Takes out the prism. Takes out the prism. Takes out the Colossus as well. Yeah, ReBellioN here overextends. He will lose everything. The Colossus and the gateway army. Did overextend. And once Kiwian saw the opportunity, he pounced. He pounced. He stemmed in. And with that, what is there left? Again, defensively, we can't even make Colossus defensively. The Robo's out on the map. What's at home to defend? Nothing. There's nothing at home. Warping in some adepts. Here comes a Colossus. Across the map. Base trade? It's maybe the only way, other than that recall, right? Other than that recall. Here we go. Kiwian, he stems in. Goes to the bases. And ReBellioN, he does shade forward as well. Not much to defend either, by the way. Not much to defend. There is the one tank on the low ground, but GG gets called. Kiwian, he has too much to handle, and Kiwian, our Terran player, will claim the series 3-2, taking down ReBellioN and advancing on to the grand finals. GG. GG, well played. A very intense back and forth series. We had some mech, we had some Skytoss, we had some Skyterran, we had some Bio, we had some cheese, we had some proxies. We had a bit of everything here, even some ninja bases. And in the end, Kiwian barely comes out on top over ReBellioN. Again, it was a cheeky proxy for ReBellioN, but he did try to macro out of it. And a really awkward setup as well, unfortunately, is, you know, because of the position of the Robo, he couldn't reinforce with the Colossus back at home. Likewise, he was also caught with his pants down. He was caught out in the open with the Colossus, and he lost everything. The Prism, the Colossus. That was game. That was game then and there. GG, well played. Kiwian will claim the series, and we are now getting ready for the grand finals. Let's go. Again, 3Point has been patiently waiting, or at least was patiently waiting for his opponent. It is going to be a TvZ between Kiwian and 3Point. Let's go. Terran versus Zerg. Here we go. Oh my god. Again, very intense tournament. StarCraft was 98, Brutal was 99. Oh, there you go. There you go. Here we go. Wait, sorry, I just said StarCraft 1 was 96. 96. Yeah. Oh. Wait, no, sorry. It debuted in Expo, but I think the official release was later. Yeah, sorry. 98. But for now, we're going on a break. For now, we're going on a short break. And when we come back, we'll have our we'll have our grand finals here. Again, it's been a very intense broadcast. A lot of matches, a lot of ace matches, especially in the semifinals. Actually, we can have a look together. We can have a look together here at how these semis have progressed. Jesus. A lot longer than I had assumed or anticipated, but here we go. We do have Kiwian. Kiwian took down ReBellioN 3-2, and 3Point took down Star at 3-1. And now we have our finals. We have our grand finals here. We have our ZVT, we have our Zerg, and our Terran player. Let's go. They're going to be facing off in those finals. Again, we're going to be going on a short break. Here, and when we come back, we'll have the grand finals. We'll have that best of 5. We'll see you guys soon after the break. Enjoy the OST. Enjoy, Pappy. Enjoy. See you soon.